Everybody on this planet, including non-humans for that matter, but certainly my human brothers and sisters, are in fact brothers and sisters. And I actually want what's best for all of my brothers and sisters. And I see two populations on this planet who are being set up for a major, major fall. And that is the Jewish people and the American people. The Jewish people and the American people have benefited profoundly from a twisted, perverse, corrupt, fraudulent system which has imparted more value to our currencies effectively and diminished the value of other people's currencies and relegated much of the planet to a state of poverty that most of us couldn't even imagine, while we've been sitting here relatively high on the hog and enjoying the benefits of this perverse, twisted, unjust system. Because we're both supremacists. And this is American exceptionalism, that's fucking supremacism. You believe you're better than everyone else. It's like a disease. And when you believe you're better than other people, it allows you to do things which can be completely criminal, and yet you justify it. Because, well, for the greater good, and sometimes you have to do things that you don't agree with, but, for the greater good, blah, 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 blah. The ends justify the means, blah, 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 blah. Because those who are running the world don't give a shit about Jewish people or the American people. And we are both being led down a path which is purely self-destructive, and the writing is well on the wall. If you came here to be comfortable, then I hope to disappoint you. I think comfort is part of our problem. The more comfortable we are, it's amazing how directly proportionate comfort is to stupidity or willful ignorance. Some of the dumbest people on the planet are Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, Stanford graduates, willfully ignorant because they know enough to know that if they speak the truth about a number of subjects, it ain't good for their career. Why are people waiting for a savior on a white horse? This is ridiculous. It's mind control. The irony of the life that we're living is that while we attribute so much power to the powers that be, the fact is that they have no power but that which we've given them. Literally. You could hardly make this shit up. It's a bad B movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone surely are going to jump out any moment and save the fucking day. It's an alternate reality. And I tell you what they need from us: complicity. And as long as we're complicit, they can do whatever the hell it is they want. But they have to con us into that. When we withhold that complicity, they have nothing at all. The space you need to get into is the space of a psychopath and a sociopath. No empathy whatsoever, completely drunk on power, willing to do anything and everything to elevate yourself and your position of power. That is the kind of mental space you need to get into if you want to understand the way things work. If they actually are human beings, they've lost all their humanity. So in that sense, they're not people. They are not human beings. These individuals do not give a shit, and they will do anything. And what they're experiencing right now is very troubling, because what we are experiencing right now at this point in history is a rising of the human consciousness that's never happened in recorded history. We don't know of any period in human history where so many people are becoming more and more aware, recapturing the ability to think for themselves and actually becoming human beings. We are experiencing a rising of the consciousness of humanity that is so profound and so unparalleled that it is scaring the shit out of the powers that be. And to be honest, they know damn well they're living on borrowed time. And what they need, and what they've always loved anyway, is war. War is good. From the psychopath, sociopathic, pedophile, corrupt, nasty, drunk on their own power perspective, war is fucking beautiful. We've lived in a world now for thousands of years that rewards corrupt behavior. We're not rewarding honor and integrity and wisdom. Does the system reward people like that? Hell no. It punishes people like that. Hell, in most parts of the world, they exterminate people like that. We're living in a collective state of insanity in which literally we threaten our own existence. And it's never-ending war, as it should be if bankers are running the world, because nothing is better for them than war, because nothing divides people more than war. I'm anti-supremacism, big time. And my problem with Judaism is based on my anti-supremacist perspective. If you are a Jew who believes that everyone is a brother and sister, if you find as a Jew it offensive that a nation called Israel happens to be calling itself the Jewish state, and you are speaking out against it in an honest way, you can do whatever you want, but you cannot offend Jews. No matter how true it might be, and the policy of Israel is inherently genocidal, and it's clear in places like Gaza that the intent is to make things so unlivable that people just leave. And that's the truth about what we see in the Jewish supremacist state of Israel, which largely adheres to Talmudic Judaism. And boy, oh boy, let's get into some religious texts that are as obscene as you can imagine. And those who don't understand or think that the power structure within Israel is operating largely within Talmudic dictates are naive. You are naive. These influential religious documents are, in fact, the highest order within Judaism amongst those who are in power today. Any kind of aspect of human society you can name of any relevance to the control of human existence is completely controlled, almost without any exception, by those who are running the world through the financial system. The problem for the Jewish people is that that system is completely dominated, almost totally controlled by Jewish bankers, as it relies on this one thing. And without that one thing, it is powerless, impotent. We only need to do one thing to turn it all around. One thing. Let's confront that financial system. Let us print our own money. Let us throw out all of these motherfuckers running around as our so-called representatives. We're in a contract with the state. And under that contract of citizenship, we have so-called rights. At least in theory, we have some rights. And we have obligations. Among the obligations is following these laws. And I realized I don't agree to the contract. That's why I renounced my citizenship. And I realized, most people aren't going to do that. I mean, it's a pretty serious move. And it wasn't lost on me how serious it was. And I don't give my allegiance to any individual group, religion, nationality. In fact, every single human being, in my opinion, deserves my respect. And I shall treat every other human being as I myself would wish to be treated. It's sanity, it's basic, and everyone can understand it. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by world citizen. We are being manipulated and engineered to have differences on every level so that we can't unite. At the core of this plan, this world citizen plan, there's a whole lot to it, and yet it's very narrow and very focused. Anyone can understand it. The social contract of world citizenship has three things. The first element of becoming a world citizen is, in this case, I'm a man. You may be a woman, but I'm a man. And I affirm my natural rights. I have the right to live my life with dignity. I have the right to travel. I have the right to freedom of expression. Hell, I've got the right to clean drinking water. I have the right to be a human being without oppressive forces compelling me to be something that I'm not. This is my natural right, and I'm going to affirm that in writing. That's number one. Anybody object to that? The state will, I'll tell you that fucking much. They're going to object to that. Number two, I, as a world citizen, in writing, obligate myself to respect everyone else's natural rights. I don't want it done to me, so I'm not going to do it to you. It's the golden rule. It's the most simple thing ever. If you don't understand this rule, something's wrong with you. This is such a basic thing. And it bypasses the state. So, I affirm my natural rights and I obligate myself to respect for everyone else's natural rights. And the third thing, I come from planet Earth. They call this place the United States now, but after we're gone, it'll be fucking what it is, planet Earth. We come from planet Earth. And what's good for planet Earth is good for us. Shitting on planet Earth is not good for us. It causes us problems. We should be treating planet Earth like we should be treating our mother, with love and respect. Because I think this is a good agreement. I think we would all benefit from this very sane, very logical approach to life. No longer shall we take the view that we need to give up our freedom in order to enjoy this fake security that we'll never get from this inherently corrupt, violent system. Just 3 things. Everyone can understand this plan in 15 minutes or less. Hell, if I do my job correctly, it won't take you more than 5 minutes. And the question is, do you understand one thing? You're the answer. We are the answer. What we decide to do, we will make a reality. And all that power we gave to these son of a bitches who are running the world, we can take that power right back. We can bypass the state and make an agreement with each other, which is beneficial to every one of us. You know, you've been living high on the hog. We need to pull on the purse strings. You owe money. Who do we owe the money to? Isn't that a valuable question? Who the hell do we owe this money to? Did we not just bail out the bankers to the tune of trillions a few years back? But we still owe money, do we? And to who? Well, that would be those that you're not supposed to criticize now, isn't it? That's who controls the money system. And these son of a bitches, they want more of your money. They've got everything. It's not even about the money for them. They want power. They don't want you to have any disposable income or any disposable time to be able to do what you need to do to be a fully fledged human being, to really express yourself, to be free, to feel a certain level of pride and dignity about yourself. Because in this world, in order for you to truly respect yourself, you have to confront in your own way, not my way, but your way. You have to confront the reality. You have to be honest with yourself and be honest with the world and the people you share this planet with. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But this plan is going to make it about as easy as possible. And the key to its success is not how good I am, but it's how much we want it. And I will do my best to pull a little bit of a Jedi trick to get people to realize we have the power. We can do whatever we set our minds to. We don't have to give these son of a bitches our power and allow them to destroy the world right before our eyes, to destroy our children's future. We can make a better world. And we can start with this very simple 3 agreements. The highest social contract of all, as opposed to the social contract that you were entered into at birth as a little baby. You were put into a contract of which you could never possibly have been informed about because you were a baby. You couldn't even understand your native language at that point, but not only were you not informed of it, but you were entered into something that has an effect on you. We can create a contract which has an effect on them, a real effect on them. We can enter into a contract that is as revolutionary as it gets, and yet it's totally unobjectionable. This contract is a spit in the fucking face of power. All of the crimes of war stem from the war of aggression, the initiation of war in an aggressive way. That's why Hitler is, so hated and whatnot, apparently, because he invaded Poland. He had much more claim to Poland than we do for invading Iraq or Afghanistan or any number of places, but apparently this was the greatest crime ever committed, and we're doing it. And we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that our taxes are going to pay for that shit. So while we may chant slogans and hold up placards that say, not in our name, bullshit, in our fucking name, paid for by us. Our job, according to the state, is to finance the worst crimes imaginable, and you have no choice. The position of the state is, doesn't matter whether you entered into a lawful contract or not, you don't have the right to refuse to pay for mass murder. We tell you what you can do, and we order you to do it, and if you don't do it, we'll throw you in jail, or we'll fucking kill you, we'll threaten you, we'll do all the things that we can do, because your job is to pay for this shit that's happening over here. I look forward to finding out how many of us are finally going to say, not doing that anymore. We are going to define the future of life on planet Earth, including our children. It's up to us. And if you hold the cynical point of view, please know that the tyrant loves you more than anything else. The tyrant needs you. The tyrant needs you to believe that you cannot change this world, that you're only one person, that it's always been this way, it'll always be that way. Imagine having a government with people of honor and integrity and wisdom who truly represent you well. Imagine that. We've just come to accept that that's not possible, haven't we? And that's one of the greatest achievements of all. They've got us to accept this shit. In a word, unfucking acceptable. We can change all of that. It's up to us. 2016. Let's make it happen.